I'll leave this article below. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but a Trusted Computation Framework, and the reason why this is pumped quite hard over the last coming weeks has been rumours of this. Intel Systems, Intel, what's in my computer? A processing company. Big, massive, huge company. Huge. So, altcoins, what do you reckon? Now, yesterday I put this in my premium group. Literally, as soon as I wrote about this on my trading view, okay, Bitcoin went, it rocketed, ruined it all, ruined everything that I was saying. Yeah, so we're waiting for this to trickle down. I think this is still going to come down. I'm going to be honest with you. I do think it's going to come down, and there's a lot of things in the news I want to go over. Three elements essentially that are quite bullish when you consider the factors in which that they could move. Now, you got to go for the trusted ones, the ones that have been around for a while. They've got a bigger audience, a big fan base, and these are three coins that, well, not so much coins, but three institutions essentially in the cryptocurrency space that are quite big and are getting quite a lot of media coverage and press, which is quite good at the moment. But there's been no price action due to Bitcoin, people holding Bitcoin, and most notably people not wanting to sell their Bitcoin to go into altcoins due to halving in the future. Now, what will it take? Now, let's look at a few facts first. Bitcoin dominance, it needs to come down. Altcoin market cap needs to go up, okay? The buyers need to go into it. Bitcoin, altcoins, etc. It doesn't matter what you buy into as long as you've done your fundamental research. But when altcoins get to a certain low point in the BTC pairing, they're going to bounce hard, and a lot of altcoins are at incredibly low levels. That doesn't mean that there's going to be an alt season anytime soon, but what it means is the chances of it going lower is quite high still. But when it does turn around, the gains could be quite severe. So don't get caught out by selling your altcoins at the bottom. Ensure that you've got a plan to jump into them when they're trending up. So when this starts trickling down and we're getting to this 66 region and we go beyond that into the 59, 58, 57 regions, your altcoins would have already fallen some distance. And I'm going to explain a few reasons why some coins over the last coming weeks have done pretty well in reality. Now let's look at one first, Chainlink. As you know, I've covered Chainlink before. I do rate it. Not an investor of it, but I like to educate people on services and use cases that could be good for the cryptocurrency space. Now, I'll leave this article below. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but a Trusted Computation Framework, and the reason why this is pumped quite hard over the last coming weeks has been rumours of this. Intel Systems, Intel, what's in my computer? A processing company. Big, massive, huge company. Huge. Been linked and using Chainlink as a cryptocurrency. 2 and 2 together? Quite good. Yeah, so it's obviously going to create some ripple effects. Now, let's talk about that in terms of company partnerships and developments. If you get them right, if you know what you're looking for, if you can get in before the rush, you will do well in any cryptocurrency investment. However, markets must be right. If Bitcoin's pumping, it doesn't work, and I'm going to explain exactly why now. So if I just quickly go to Chainlink, I think I've got it in here. Here we go. Now, this is Chainlink on the daily time frame. It's looking absolutely mental. It's brilliant. Look at it. It's like beautiful. Now, buy the rumor, sell the news. But this yesterday was literally, if I go to normal candles so you can understand it, this was when Bitcoin was like, yeah, Bitcoin was steady yesterday for a bit. And then all of a sudden, the Americans woke up and boom, off it went. It dropped it like a stone. Now, this is just a natural retracement in reality, but also you've got to look at Bitcoin pumping. The BTC dominance yesterday was a lot lower as well. So if I just go quickly back to the BTC dominance chart, it was down here. It was 68.29 at one point, which is scary. So yesterday, Bitcoin was really doing nothing. Bitcoin dominance was coming down. Altcoins were rallying. Then all of a sudden, Bitcoin went boom, flip, and it flipped it. So what we're going to look at for Chainlink now, I'm going to suggest that this is going to retrace quite nicely, possibly down to this region, possibly. we'll see where it goes in the next few days. But it depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin slows down at this regions and altcoins pick up, the market goes okay and people get excited again, altcoins will move. Now, the reason why the dominance is coming down is because altcoins have been doing quite well. Now, another thing as well that's happened over the last few days has been Binance. Binance have introduced WeChat and Alipay, which is obviously two Chinese companies. They're huge, to purchase Bitcoin on their platform. That is a really big deal. Now, again, let's look at the BNB chart. This has had a nice little run over the last few days due to it. Now, you look at, it's not much, I know, but in reality, when you look at tops to bottoms, if you look at this region here, it's a bit dull to that point, it's still a 15% move. It started to get into a trend above the moving average 34, essentially. Okay, nothing scary, but if I go to my crypto chart, you'll probably see a little bit more. EMA 34, it's above it. It's a start point. When you consider over the last coming months, it's been below it for a long, long time. So it's obviously causing a little bit of interest to get above those longer term moving averages, especially on the daily time frame. So Binance Coin. Bigger Binance gets, the more altcoins pop and rally upwards, the more this is going to get used. So always have it in the back of your mind, is Binance a good opportunity to buy with your Bitcoin? Well, when you zoom out and you look at it and you think, well, possibly, yeah, because you think, well, it's been up here. If you go bottom to top, if we go back up to those tops again, when alt season was kind of going a bit crazy, when Bitcoin was going nuts, market interest, you just don't know, dear. So that's another thing. Another thing as well, very, very big website, very, very big brand, a lot of traffic, a lot of influence in the market, has recently wrote about Libra, but they've also wrote about XRP. Now, XRP, I talk about it quite a lot. I do think XRP will be one of the catalysts that pushes this market to the next level. That's my honest opinion. Don't burn me. But due to, you know, what it's going to do and stuff, this is quite a good little article if you read through it, especially if you're completely new to cryptocurrency. It's very, very unbiased. And it also talks about the likes of Bitcoin, the tale of the two coins, and also you got, like, is it love, basically? What do people like about it? What do people hate about it? There's certain things about it, certain good quotes, and it's quite good. In reality, though, let's talk about it in terms of other things. Now, XRP again, it's had another Ripple announces new fintech partnership expanding global footprint for XRP and cross-border transactions. This is happening all the time. There's a lot of NDAs apparently as well in terms of what's going to come in the next coming months for XRP. So Finstra, never heard of it, London-based fintech solutions provider. Don't know if it's any good, but there's a lot of these partnerships that are happening with XRP and the Ripple ecosystem. And again, I mentioned it a few weeks back that XRP is one of the coins that's looking actually okay, and it has been for like literally over 2 weeks now. Like, it's literally been since the 28th of September. It's been traded above the moving average 100, which is absolutely crucial. But even from the 17th of September, we've been above and supported by the EMA 34. So these are massively, how many times could I say massively key factors when you consider, when you zoom out and you go left. Well, we've been absolutely shocking all year. In reality, when you look at it, consider where we've been. If I just go to my cool Forexy chart, this is a 6 hour time frame, and this is literally from the start of September. And you know, you got to look at certain things. It's trending up nicely still. So will this trend hold? Well, we've got to count on this to bounce up again. But, you know, when you look at certain things, you look at certain factors, you've got to look back and you think, well, it's absolutely boggling to think that how bad this year has been for XRP, considering the developments, considering what's happening over the course of the ecosystem. But it's just because altcoins have not been the favour of the month. That is literally it. And I know my Fibonacci is not lined up right, but we'll put it correctly. There we go. Altcoins are not in favour at the minute. But when that flips, the gains are monumental, and you think the tops of this here, it's crazy. Obviously, XRP has been a lot higher. So there's always going to be gains in coins that are top of the tree, who have been around for a while, who've got the best technology, the best teams, the best developments. And you've got to think, Chainlink have some unbelievable partnerships. Binance Coin has humongous volume of transactions, altcoins, trading opportunities, you know, on-ramp, off-ramp of services now, of fiat, crazy. And XRP could well be the one that's going to be used more often than not than any other cryptocurrency. I use XRP an awful lot to move my money around because it's so quick. It's great. But the fundamentals are Bitcoin. Bitcoin has to steady itself. It has to stay still. Now, what happened over the last few weeks has been a steady decline. We dropped massively. Everyone shut themselves. But we had a little pump yesterday. But we're not quite ready yet, in my honest opinion, to even go any further. If you look at the daily time frame, we're not above the moving average 200. If we get above that, you might start seeing a flipper bias from me going bullish again. But it has to go above it. And I don't think it will. I think it will reject again. If it rejects again, we've got a big drop coming. So, there we go. XRP, Link, BNB. Could they be a catalyst for an altcoin season? Well, maybe. It depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin comes down, that dominance comes down. People start getting interest. When coins are trading up 20, 30, 40, 50% up over the week, people will FOMO into them. That's just the way the world works in the markets, I'm afraid. So, do your research. Don't FOMO. Get in before the crowd.